Hello guys, this is the third chapter of this is the third lecture of the chapter theory of production cost. And in the last lecture we were discussing about your 12th point, that is a long run marginal cost curve. We have successfully completed long run marginal cost curve. Now we will start the lecture with theory of modern cost or modern cost theory. So let's start. Recent developments in the theory of cost have come to the following conclusion in the context of real life situation. So guys, this is a very new phenomena and the new theory, new idea of the production cost. So guys, let's see what is there in this. The one is U shape of the short run cost curve is doubtful because its assumptions are not realistic. And the second thing, these economies are not a necessary consequence of large scale production. Therefore, most long run cost curves are L shaped. So, guys, in the modern theory cost, we have found that U shape short run cost is doubtful and it seems to be not realistic. And these economies are not a necessary consequence of a large scale production. So let's see what is there further in the modern theory. So guys, we will see the point number 14, that is short run cost in modern theory. Here, modern theory of cost, like the traditional theory, distinguishes between fixed cost and variable cost in the short run, but it asserts that average fixed cost curve AFC is not necessarily a rectangular hyperbola, and average variable cost, that is AVC, has a saucer type shape rather than a neat U shape. So guys, as we have got the shape as U in the short run marginal cost or the short run variable cost or long run fixed cost or the long run variable cost. So here in the modern theory we found that that it is not necessary that whether it is a fixed cost or the variable cost will get U shape. Now we will see further as the average fixed cost curve. So guys, you need to understand that what will be the shape and what will be the example of average fixed cost curve. Let's see in the modern theory. Empirical studies have shown that in modern industrial enterprises there always exists some reserve capacity in the plant, land and building. Even administrative staff is hired a little more than the requirement, so that some expansions of the operation of the firm may be possible without undermining efficiency. The firm does not necessarily choose the plant which give it lowest cost, as concluded in the traditional theory. Rather, it prefers the plant which allow it maximum possible flexibility to expand output or to change its product or to change its techniques in response to change in the market condition. In this situation, average cost curve will be shown in the following diagram. So guys, here in the modern theory, it is none that means each and every company will keep reserve their we can say their production factor, so that if they want to expand their business, then they need not to think about their efficiency, because they do have some spare employees, they do have them some spare machine, they do have some spare capacity of increasing production, so they need not to increase any of the production factor to get more production. For example, currently company is producing 500 units per day, but if company wants to increase production from 500 to 600 units per day, then company need not to increase their labor, or company need not to increase their raw material, or company need not to increase some of the production factor to get more production, because company do have some spare, or we can say company do have some extra capacity left to for the future purposes to get more production if company wants to increase the production in the future. So this is what the AFC curve in the modern theory, and now we will see the diagram given here, that this will be the we can say curve of the average fixed cost in the modern theory. So here we will see this. Here on the x-axis we are given output, and on the y-axis we are given cost, and this is the output. So if we produce a product, or if we produce the number of product B, so guys, as we have increased our production, and what we can see here, that what the curve of the average fixed cost in the diagram, that from the following or we can say from the beginning point of the time, as the production increases, the average fixed cost get decreases, as we have already seen in the real earlier theory. But here after some of the point, here after some of the point, when we decrease our production, our means the average fixed cost will get increases. So Here you can see that as in the certain, for example, I am producing 5,000 unit, then my fixed cost, my average fixed cost will be here. But if I have increased my production from 10,000 5,000 to 10,000 unit, then I have decreased my average fixed cost. Average fixed cost will be decreased according to the number when I increase my production. So guys, but still I am producing 5,000 unit, then my fixed cost will be, average fixed cost will be increased. So what is this margin? This margin is known as extra or spare margin. If company wants to increase its production in the future, then company can extend its business or extend its production from A to B. So this is a spare margin, and company will use in the future without increasing or without raising any factors of the production to get more products in the future. Now guys, we will see here the explanation. The firm has broadly two types of capital equipment: a large capacity plant and small unit machinery. The large capacity plant sets an absolute limit to the short run expansion of output at point B. So this is, we can say that a capacity of expansion, if company wants to do the expansion in the production. Now, output at point A. In the short run of the firm can expand its output up to point B either by employing labor for longer hours on overtime basis, or by obtaining some additional small unit machinery. In the first case, the average fixed cost curve will be CD, and in the later case, it will be the case AFC curve will shift up, and then it will fall again as the short shown by the curve EF. So guys, this is what about the average fixed cost in the modern theory. Now we will see what will be the situation of average variable cost in the modern theory. So here the concept of average variable cost in the modern theory is the same as in the traditional theory, but average variable cost curve in the modern theory has a saucer type shape, and as shown in the following diagram. So here we can see that this kind of curve will get the average variable cost in the modern theory, that in the beginning of the time, as we increase our production, our average variable cost will get decreases, but from a certain reserve capacity. So this is reserve capacity. So up to the reserve capacity, the average variable cost will remain the same. And if company will exceed it, or we can say go beyond the certain point of the capacity, then again its variable average variable cost will get increasing. So here we will see the explanation given over here in the figure 16. Average variable cost curve has flat stretch over a certain range of output, that is A to B. A to B, that is known as reserve capacity. Due to the reserve capacity of the firm, up to point A, average variable cost falls with the increase in output, and beyond point B, it raises with the increase in output. In traditional theory, it is assumed that a firm's choice of the plant is guided by the objective of cost uh, minimization today. Therefore, the firm will have no reserve capacity, but will have only excess capacity. In contrast, according to modern theory, reserve capacity is planned by the firm, and it does not cause any increase in the average variable cost. Though in practice, the utilization of plant will be at an output level closer to point B. So guys, what is this area from point A to B? Then it is known as reserve capacity. If company is producing this number of units, or company is producing this number of units, their average variable cost will remain same. But a company using, for example, company is producing this much of unit, then if company can increase its production, because company will get the similar, or we can say common average variable cost, because this is its reserve capacity. Now guys, we will see the third point given here, that is about average total cost curve. So what will be the shape and what will be the curves in the modern theory? Let's see average total cost curve. The shape of average cost curve, or average total cost curve, depends on the shape of average fixed cost curve and average variable cost curve, as because AC is equal to AFC plus AB, that is average fixed cost plus average variable cost. So guys, as you know this thing very well, that total cost, that is every fixed cost plus variable cost. Now we will see the curves in this diagram, that on the x-axis we are given output, and on the y-axis we are given cost. Here we are given marginal cost, average fixed cost, average variable cost, and average total cost. So let's see, if we talk about average fixed cost, then we already have seen that the fixed cost will get decreasing as the production is increases. So there will be no such kind of U-shaped or L-shaped in this average fixed cost. But if we talk about average variable cost, then in the modern theory, average variable cost will be like this, as we have seen just now, that average variable cost will get falling in the beginning of the time. But this is the capacity or reserve capacity. Company can increase its production from A to B without increasing in the average variable cost. So the curve of average variable cost will be like this. And if we talk about average total cost, then the curve of average total cost will be like this, because here we can say that the factor of his fixed cost is also considered. So no matter what the variable cost is, but due to the fixed cost, average total cost will not match here, but only match here due to the fixed cost capacity and due to the fixed cost consideration. And if we talk about marginal cost, then the curve of marginal cost will be like this. So guys, this is what all about the curves in the modern theory of the cost. Here in figure 17, average total cost falls slips up to output level OA, because AFC and AVC both are falling. And we are given the total explanation of above diagram here. You just need to read it out and understand how the curves are changes, as I have told you. Now guys, we will move further to see the point number 15, long run cost in modern theory. So what is long run cost in modern theory? Let's see. Modern economists believe that the long run average cost curve is not U-shaped. So here we are seeing long run cost in modern theory. How will be the shape of long run cost in modern theory? Modern economists believe that the long run average cost curve is not U-shaped, it is L-shaped, as shown in the following diagram. So guys, in the modern theory, the shape of curves are different than the earlier theories. Let's see over here, long run average cost, we can say, and long run marginal cost. Then the curves of long run average cost and long run marginal cost will be like this. So it will it is not seems to have U shape, but it is seems to have L shape in the diagram. So guys, let's understand what does this theory mean. So in the figure 18, long run marginal cost curve is below long run average cost curve until the minimum optimum scale is reached point A. But after the point A, afterwards, it consigns with a LSE curve for higher level of output. So when output is expanded, production cost fall because of technical economics of large scale production. After a certain level of output, these economies are not available. At this stage, the firm is at the minimum optimum scale given the technology. For further reduction in the production cost, new techniques have to be adopted, and this is not difficult in the modern world of rapid technology changes. So guys, marginal costs show a tendency to rise at a very large scale of output, but small increase in the managerial cost are more than the offset by the reduction in the production cost. Therefore, long run average cost fall or remains constant at very large scales of output. So guys, here you can see over here that what about the curves of long run average cost and long run marginal cost. So guys, as we have already seen in the earlier diagrams, in the earlier theories, that marginal cost will always below the average cost, but as the production increases after a certain point, when production is expanded beyond the capacity level, then the long run marginal cost will be above the average cost. But in the modern theory, this till point A, the situation is same, but after the point A, long run average cost is equal to long run marginal cost. So guys, modern theory says that average cost and marginal cost will be the same or the constant in the long run cost. Now guys, we will see the next point that is given here, other concept of cost. So guys, we need to discuss other concept of the cost. And as we are going to conclude a chapter very soon after this point, so I don't think much topics are left now. Let's see other concept of the cost in this chapter. So it is too elementary to assume that costs are either fixed or variable. In reality, there are cases that fall in between. They are known as semi-variable cost, which combine attributes of both fixed cost and variable cost. Example, depreciation cost, salesman emoluments cost, etc. So let's see it one by one. It is necessary in business to identify and recognize other cost concept. The world of business is too complicated to be fully understood. It is therefore very necessary to understand other concept of cost, which give clear insight to businessmen, enable them to take decision pertaining to various problems they face. So guys, here we will see the concept of other cost. The one is accounting cost and economic cost. Accounting costs are different. Accounting costs are different from economic cost. Accounting cost refers to expenses which are recorded in the books of accounts. They are actually paid out outlays. Economics cost, on other hand, take into consideration besides actual outflow, imputed cost, that is imputed costs of owner owned resources. For example, owner's premise is used as office, owner's work as a manager, capital supplied by him, etc. Since economist is a social scientist, he also takes social or real cost such as pollution, deforestation, etc. into the consideration. So guys, here we need to consider some of the things which are not considered in the accounting cost, because in the accounting cost only the transaction will be considered which need to have some payment. But if the if we can say the businessman uses his own land, then there will be no countation of the rent on that, because businessman is using his own land. And if due to the economic activity, when there is deforestation or the pollution in the market, then there will be no such cost will be considered in the accounting cost, but it will be also there in the economic cost. So here, what is the difference between accounting cost and economic cost? Economic cost consider all the things which creates cost or which creates some value, but in the accounting cost only the transaction will be considered which need to be paid something. Now guys, we will see the second concept, that is incremental cost and marginal cost. Incremental cost can be defined as cost which are incurred on the account of charge in business decision. Business decision may not necessarily be only regarding production, it may as well be regarding change in technology, sales personnel, sales channel, advertising media, etc. Even if it is in connection with production, it may be regarding an block change in production, say 10,000 unit and not just one unit only. Incremental costs are also alternatively known as differential cost. Now we will see marginal cost refers to the change in production only, and that too a change of one unit and not even block sorry guys, not even block increase or decrease in the production. So marginal cost so increase in the total cost on account of the production of only one more unit of the product. Thus, as against the concept of incremental cost, the concept of marginal cost goes for the microscopic examination of cost behavior brick by brick. So guys, you need to understand what is incremental cost and what is marginal cost. Let's have an example. If I am producing 5,000 unit in my factory, and now I have decided to increase my production from 5,000 unit to 8,000 unit. So I want to increase my production by 3,000 unit. So how much cost will I get extended by increasing the production? So whatever will be the difference in the earlier cost of the production and present cost of the production is known as incremental cost. Means by increase in the production, whatever the cost will be raised is known as incremental cost. But if we talk about marginal cost, then marginal cost is a cost which occurred or we can say which increased by increasing just one unit in the total production. So if we take an example of marginal cost, if I am producing 500 units, and now I have decided to increase my production by one unit, and I just want to see that by increasing one unit of the production, how much cost will be increased. So it is about one single unit of the total production, and it is about much units of the total production. Now guys, we will see sunk cost and abandoned cost. So some costs relate to expenses which cannot be recovered as they are on special machinery which is not adaptable to other uses. For example, expenses incurred on tram rails lines in Mumbai. The discontinuance of tram transport provide an example of some costs. Shutdown costs should be distinguished from the sunk cost, as shutdown costs come into existence due to a temporary suspension of production and plant operation. It should be noted that shutdown expenses have to be incurred when productive activity is suspended. The example of such expenses are expenditure on warehouses, sheds, etc., for storing goods already produced and protecting equipment and machinery, etc. So, guys, sunk costs are the cost which cannot be recovered, and abundant costs are the cost which occurs when the activity of production will be stopped. So these two different types of cost are different, and the concept is totally different. Now we will see outlay cost and opportunity cost. So, okay, let's see this paragraph also. Abundant costs arise when the business activity is abundant or closed forever. The abandonment of radio manufacturing is a good example. Thus, it is clear that this cost distinction is useful now to management faced with the problem of continuing, suspending, or closing down for good and existing plan operation. So, guys, abandonment cost means when our business is shut down for the permanently. When we closes our business for permanent, then the cost will arise will be known as abnormal cost. And if we talk about sunk cost, then when whatever the cost we do or whatever the cost occurs which cannot be recovered from our services or the production is known as sunk cost. Now, guys, we will see outlay cost and opportunity cost. Outlay cost are the costs which are actually incurred. For example, raw materials charges, wages of labor, electricity bills, etc. Hence, they are also known as actual cost of the absolute cost. Opportunity cost, on the other hand, are cost in the form of opportunity or second best alternative for a good. In business decision making, opportunity costs are no less important. Joel Dean observed that in business problem, the message of opportunity cost is that it is dangerous to confine cost knowledge to what the firm is doing. What the firm is not doing is frequently the critical cost consideration, which it is perilous but easy to ignore. So, guys, here if we talk about outlay cost considers the cost of raw material, the cost of electricity, and etc. But if we talk about opportunity cost, then opportunity cost is the cost. For example, I am producing wheat in my land, and I have foregone the opportunity of producing uh, bajri in my land. So whatever means whatever the alternative I choose, and to choose one alternative, I need to miss other alternatives, because I can only choose one option, and I need to foregone other, or I need to ignore other options. So whatever the other options I have left to just choose one option is known as opportunity cost, because I could have do that also instead of this. So this kind of cost is known as opportunity cost. So, guys, that's it for today in this lecture, and now we have concluded your lecture over here. That, and we also have finished your syllabus and this chapter. So that is what all about the economics. Now we are left with some of the questions over here. So, guys, this is what all about the syllabus of your economics. Now Bcom semester 1 economics syllabus is completed by me, and you just need to go through my YouTube channel and watch all the videos carefully and understand all the concept one by one, as I have explained to you uh, very well from the PDF I have made from the book that you already have. So, guys, that's it for today. And as I'm just want to have the front page of the chapter. Let's see, uh, as the chapter is quite big. Okay, so the chapter theory production cost is concluded, and as this is your last chapter, your syllabus of economics is also finished. So, guys, all the best for your exam, and goodbye.